These are the answers to your most asked questions and dilemmas about Instagram. For real. Hi vloggers, welcome back to ABOH TV. Today's video is going to give you my honest and experienced advice for how you can grow your Instagram right now with the life that you have and the tools that you have. You want to build a real, engaged and authentic Instagram community, and there's no slowing Instagram down. As a platform, it's going to continue to grow. So for you, creating content for Instagram is going to be a big priority. But I think a lot of people have the wrong mindset when it comes to Instagram, and I know that the biggest piece of feedback that I get from you is that you struggle the most with growing your engagement and just your growth in general, which I totally get, by the way. So today I'm going to talk to you about 5 main topics we need to cover so you can start seeing real results on Instagram. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I upload videos every Tuesday and Friday, and you definitely won't want to miss the next one. So the first thing we're going to talk about is growth. The thing I always get asked the most about Instagram is, how do I grow my audience? But in all honesty, it's just going to get harder. The first thing to remember is that followers have never been less important, because it's the algorithms that control what you see. Think about what Pinterest did. They decided to completely erase and take away the follower count of each account and now show the monthly reach of each Pinterest profile. Now, this might fluctuate month on month, but it's a much more useful measurement. Your reach will fluctuate depending on what you're sharing, how much you're engaging, and who's actually seeing it. If you do want to count something, then count comments, because they're the most real measure of who's actually seeing and engaging with your posts. My next tip for growth is to share unique, high quality content that's engaging your existing audience, and it's your existing audience that's really important here. The more your existing audience likes, comments and engages with your content, the more likely it is that their followers will be suggested your feed. So give your audience a reason to comment by producing your very best imagery and the most thought-provoking captions. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to resonate with someone and stand out from the rest. Now for a little tip. You want to make sure you're filed correctly in the Instagram system. Log out and then go to a user's profile who you think is a lot similar to you, and hit the down arrow next to their name. Who do you see that's suggested? If you want to actively grow, you want to see your account in one of the first few accounts listed here. So try this with a few different users and see if you're showing up. If you're not, then work on it. Engage more with your audience, start conversations, use the same hashtags as your competitors. You could even pitch to collaborate with them in some way. You might think algorithms are complex, but they're quite simple really. They need information from you so they can make informed and accurate decisions about who you are. You also need to make Instagram part of your bigger picture. Don't try to find your audience all in one place. Try spreading your wings a little bit. My blog, Twitter and YouTube channel all send people over to my Instagram profile and vice versa. Plus, brands and influencer agencies are constantly looking for people who have a presence on more than one platform to show that people are connecting with them in a real and genuine way. And my final tip for the growth section is to stop comparing yourself. If your targets for growth are based on someone else's success, you'll never be happy. Everyone is different and there is no finish line. So stay in your own lane and just tune out what everybody else is doing. Now we're moving on to engagement. You're not Beyonce and I'm not either, okay? What I mean by that is, it's important to recognize that you can't use Instagram or any social media platform for that matter just as a broadcast to your followers. It's called social media for a reason, and you need to be social. These platforms work best when we use them to engage, interact and make conversation. Now, this might be an obvious one, but try and spend more time on other people's profiles than you do on your own. This can be watching stories, liking, commenting, DMing someone. The more you engage, the more you connect, then the more inspired you'll get and the more you'll grow. This leads me on to something that we are all guilty of, but try and give likes and comments as freely as possible. So many people on Instagram have done polls to find out that their followers are just silently scrolling through their feed, and they only save their likes for posts that blow them away, for fear that they are going to mess up the algorithm or promote the competition. But you can combat this by throwing likes around like confetti. It still needs to be meaningful and genuine, but don't be afraid of giving more than you get. Instagram will always reward engagement, and you'll see it come back to benefit you. This also comes down to nurturing your community, because it's the people that like, comment and DM you that deserve your full focus, not a bunch of random potential followers. You need to be rewarding their time. So reply back to them, like their photos, start to build lasting relationships. The last thing I want to mention to you about engagement might be a little harsh, but I need you to get out of your bubble. It's easy to think you've seen everything in your feed when you've really only been shown 0.1%. So explore hobbies and trends that you maybe haven't looked at before, and make friends in different communities, because this will really help to diversify your feed and broaden your reach. The third topic we're going to talk about to help you grow on Instagram is captions. After your actual image, your caption is your next big chance to make a connection. And for some people, captions are more important than the image itself. So let's have a chat about how we can make them do a lot of hard work. Well, first of all, you need to make it valuable. A great caption gives your readers something to take away. So this could be inspiration, laughter, or maybe it just gives them a chance to feel a little bit less alone. Take your readers' time seriously and give generously. Remember, people will forget what you said, but they won't forget how you made them feel. Another tip as well, if you're multilingual, consider sharing your caption in your home language as well as English or whatever other language it is that you choose. This connects you to a wider audience, it makes your posts more distinctive and keeps the platform more diverse. Next, you need to find your talking points, and a great way to do this is to just not overthink it. So try and pay more attention to the conversations that you're having in your day-to-day life. Maybe you were saying something on Twitter and it went into a really long thread, or maybe you had a conversation with a friend that sparked an idea in you. You need to find something worth saying and worth replying to as well. You need to give people a reason to comment, and this is honestly one of the biggest mistakes that people can make on Instagram. The easiest way to do this is to ask questions, but you don't want to see one that sounds insincere, or maybe it's just been added on the end and you can just tell because it's completely random. Like, what do you think about this? That's very vague and it's kind of empty. Questions encourage good algorithm ranking. So by asking questions that you want to know the answers to, you can really spark some conversation with your audience. Plus, it's a great way to get to know them on a deeper level. Now, something a lot of people struggle with when it comes to captions is how long they should be. But I want to let you in on a little secret. Forget the rules about length. Some days you want something short and snappy, and other days you're prepared to sit down for a really long read. Different audiences prefer different things, so feel free to mix it up because nobody's judging you. You know, if it's a Friday and you're sharing a picture of your pizza and a glass of wine and you say, "This is what Friday's all about," and a few emojis, that's fine because that's relatable. And the final thing with captions is just be human. It can be so hard to find your voice online, and it's surprisingly easy to go down the wrong path. Don't be tempted to sound overly corporate, so don't be tempted to use we if it's just you at home sitting in your office. Write what you would write in a text to your best friend without any edits. Okay, maybe one or two. This also means being vulnerable too, and this isn't essential, but I find that when I'm my most vulnerable and when I share a story that I'm hesitant to hit publish on, I feel like something magical happens. There's so much power in the Me Too's that flood in as a response. Now we're going to move on to safety and sanity. Now, let's just start off with the obvious, okay? Because Instagram is supposed to be fun. Even if you're here for work, you're still allowed to enjoy it. And if your time in the app is bringing you down, then it's time to make some changes. So let's say your explore feed is full of things that you just don't want to see. Select any inappropriate content, hit the 3 dots at the top and tap see fewer posts like this. The next thing you can do is stop looking at accounts that make you feel bad. If you don't want to unfollow them but you feel like you need some space, you can use the mute feature, as this allows you to privately control what you're seeing. If you mute someone's stories and the content, they will stop showing up in your feed and as a suggestion at the top of search too. You can just go back and review who you've muted from time to time. You can also use the time spent on Instagram feature for those of you who feel like you spend way too long on the platform. Is that anybody else or is it just me? Another thing to do if you find that you get abusive comments to your profile is go ahead and turn on comment controls, because this hides most abusive comments. It's not censorship, it's drawing boundaries, and you are completely entitled to that. Now when you're done with this video, go to your profile and turn on the 2-step authentication. Go on, I'm watching you. This makes it way harder for anyone to hack your account, because with any new login attempt, you'll get a code sent to your phone. The final topic we're going to chat about is rules and algorithms that are complete BS. I get so many comments from people in my community about this, and they ask things like,
how often should I post? How many hashtags should I use? Why is the algorithm hiding my posts?
Well, listen, there's so much content out there that wants to sell you on the rules of Instagram. They tell you there's only one right way to do things, and it's really tempting to believe them. But then you try it out and it doesn't work. Algorithms are complex systems that look into so much data. If your sole aim is to play into their hands, it can become an all-consuming task and can really suck the joy and creativity that you get out of being on Instagram. You need to strike a balance. Passion first, numbers second. But I also get that we're all human, you know. We want to try stuff out and understand how things all work. So this is what Instagram have said affects your visibility within the algorithm. How long people spend looking at your post, how many people see it as a thumbnail and click to see more, how many comments it gets, how many shares it gets, and how quickly it amasses all of these things. Basically, people who've recently liked, commented, DM'd or searched you are much more likely to be shown your posts. You've got half an hour for your post to perform well under all of these metrics. If it does, then the more likely it will be featured on the explore page and be shown to people who don't already follow you. That's when you'll see an increased number of new people on your page. If you hear people say that Instagram only shows your content to like 7% of people, or that the only way you can get people to engage with your content is saying comment yes, it's just rubbish. Just don't believe it. The best thing you can do, if you take anything away from this video, ignore the algorithms and have fun. So those were my 5 tips on growing your Instagram platform organically. If you were blown away by any of these tips, then please let me know in the comments, and also tell me which of these strategies you'll be focusing on first. And if you want to come hang with me on Instagram, then feel free. I'm at a branch of Holly. Come and comment on my latest photo and let me know that you've come over from the YouTube family. That's all for today, bloggers. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for more strategy solutions so you can get one step closer to a breakthrough. You just bossed it.